Well, okay. I don't know how good of a signal I'm getting. That seems a little bit better. But this is a response to a gentleman that I know of by the name of One Angry Bong. Now it's One Angry Shillbilly. And the first thing that he asked me was do a show about a middle-aged male citizen of the USA that never served in the military. And my response is, why do I need to serve in the military? To have an opinion. And he comes back with me that freedom isn't free. My question to him, does freedom even exist? People are born dependent. They stop being dependent when they die. These are, I said, there are exceptions to this rule. However, the exception proves the rule. Also, I was going to say, also, the last wars my country fought weren't about freedom. And then Angry Bong says, your rights are linked to your freedom. The fact that you don't think they are is testimony to your lack of understanding of the word. You could have just joined the Coast Guard and protected the U.S. on the coast, or the police and fight the crime you hate so much. Nope, not you. You didn't offer any service to your country. You just complain about it. But you're right, it's a microphone. Snipers like you telling your enlightened truth about South African farmers to four people that will change. I think he said chance, but I think he meant change things. And then I ask, so why do you come here to put me down? Why do you choose to attack me? Do I offend you that much? And I'm like, this is kind of like you're going to a restaurant, to habitually complain about the food. Sooner or later, you got to find a new restaurant. I don't think I haven't seen you in a long time. And I don't think that I've done anything to really earn your hostility towards me. Didn't do anything to you. Anyway, Joey is here.
Yes, I am. Can you hear me? Am I coming in loud and clear?
I can hear you very fine, Joey.
That is excellent. So Angry Bong, he lives. He has a nice residence, and it's just underneath your scalp. He lives right there, and he's been pitching a tent in there for the last, however many years you've known him. So how are you addressing this man?
Well, I'm just addressing him saying, if he doesn't like my show and he doesn't like me and he thinks that I'm a loser, why does he listen? I mean, he says I only have 4 listeners. Well, if he's gone, I'll only have 3. And maybe all 3 of them are his friends and I'll have none. I don't care if
I don't think that's ever mattered. I don't think the numbers have ever really mattered for you or you and I. It would be nice to have a crowd, but if we were about the numbers, we probably would have not hit play or record for like many moons. We've been doing it for a while. So if it was the numbers we're concerned about, bye. And it looks if I'm looking at the number now, and there's some people here watching. I hope you're here. Why don't you get people leave comments? Say something. Challenge Mr.
Well,
Midnight Movie and
you can't, for whatever reason,
do it.
you cannot, for whatever reason, when I'm posting on Twitter. Now, are you on my Twitter space? Or where did you start listening from, by the way?
I just signed in.
Oh, but did you? Oh, but how do you know that there are people listening?
I'm looking at the little gauge right there. It looks like there's a few people here. How you doing tonight? Welcome to the show. You know, we have to address that. We have to talk to our people. We have to let them know that. I mean, that's what I'm seeing. I'm seeing more people tonight than most nights, actually.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, yeah. I mean, I was actually
Hello, everybody.
L'chaim. I was basically just looking at the numbers. I mean, not at the numbers, but I was going to do a really short show about the comment that Angry Bong made, and I haven't heard from the guy in a long time, and we we never ended on bad terms, and he comes at me like he's got a lot of animosity towards me, and I guess things between him and I haven't changed, and like he comes, I didn't,
I'm only half joking when I say it, but he does think he lives in your head.
Well, no, I mean, he did say something. Well, I'm aware of hostile behavior. That doesn't mean they live in my head. I just prefer, like, if you're going to insult me, to go someplace else. I mean, this is third. It's like, it's juvenile. I want to hear, you've never been in the military, therefore you don't have a right to speak on any issue. Your freedom, or your freedoms, what my freedoms consist of. We're not a military state,
I'm surprised. I'm very surprised that he actually cops up to being a liberal. I don't know. I've never understood that about him.
I think he's more of an egotist than a liberal. I think ultimately, I mean, he has liberal views, but he's very egocentric, and he will attack you. He's a very vicious person. And, okay, take that toxic behavior somewhere else. You don't have to agree with what I say. And if you get
if that is the prevailing attitude of liberalism, I mean, it would just make sense. It would just make sense of why there's so much contention between the people of the left and the people of the so-called right. When I hear that, it makes sense to me, and none of that stuff ever makes sense to me. So I have to thank Angry Bong for showing me that.
Well, granted, the thing is, I've known people in the military. My father was a veteran, and even my father, as bombastic as he was, would never make a comment like that.
No.
My grandfather would never make a comment like that. That's just, and he attacked, it was primarily to attack me personally.
Right.
And that my views, because I haven't served in the armed forces, and I tried to be diplomatic with him, but he wasn't having any of it. And then he went and explained to how many listeners I have. Like, I mean, that's obvious how many listeners. When you say something and it's not meant for truth, this is not like something that none of us don't already know. And my YouTube page is different than my Twitter page. I mean, my Twitter page, because I broadcast this on Twitter as well, and I get a few more listeners there. But again, for him to mention that the way he does, it's just to put me down. It's like, why? He's saying things Like if you see somebody with a burned face and they're giving dating advice, and you say to the person, "You have a burned face. What do you know about women? Burned face." You know, it's like there's the only purpose. The only purpose for that is to hurt. And look, I don't want to discuss anything with him because number one, where's this conversation going? If this conversation is going one-upmanship, like I put you down, you put me down, I don't want to have that game. You win. You win. You know. To you, I'm a coward. To you, I'm this. Keep walking, man. Keep walking. Walk on by. Go to the party where the veterans are, and they'll all, maybe they'll all agree with you. I doubt it. And it kind of surprised me to a degree because the last I talked with one angry, and I forget his name, and I don't want to even get into his name. Now I call like a shillbilly. But my point is, why would you do that? Why would you address me? What's the purpose of that? What do you hope to accomplish? I mean, for me, I do this as a point of practice, and I believe I bring some forms of unique perspectives to life in my experience. And
without a doubt.
Yeah, I mean, it was to a degree because the last time I talked to Shillbilly or One Angry Bong, the last time I talked to him, we were on good terms. And this is not something you say to somebody on good terms. He didn't say, you're saying the same thing and I respectfully disagree with you. He came in to attack me. And it's like, for what purpose? What did I do to you? What did my opinion, because it's just an opinion, what did my opinions do to you to make you attack me in the manner that you did? Why would you do that? What's the purpose? I mean, that was the main thing that I'd want to know. By the way, have you talked to Marijuana Happy Hour? And I don't think Nikki.
I'm sorry. Hold on 1 second. I'm taking care of something. Hold on.
All right. That was a baby in the background, and I know that Joey doesn't have any children. So.
It just sounded like you're a little whiny, a little bit on the whiny side.
No, I mean, look, I'm not really necessarily offended, but it came from a really nasty place. And
you should know, Shillbilly, he's got a grudge, and I'll be honest, man, I think deep down I kind of like him. And I always, but I always end up getting into a little bit of a thing on words with him. I don't like everything he says, but the liberalism thing really kind of irks me.
You know what? I don't know enough.
Only because it shows me a side that I really don't care to see, but I get to see it.
Well, again, I don't know his politics. All I know is that he did serve in the Canadian Armed Forces, and again, I'm all good and well about that. I don't care. I mean, that's good for you. You feel something proud of that. I would never put that down. And again, I remember I said something to him before, and he went to put me down, and I stopped the conversation. And it was, and basically, it was a response that I said that he was brainwashed. I don't know that he's brainwashed. I don't know where he comes from to come at me this way, because again, I didn't come at him in the same way again. And again, we the last time I talked to the man, we ended on rather good terms. He thought I was a fairly decent guy, and now it is kind of a shock for him to come at me in the manner that he did. Because again, I didn't think that he would be that way. It was kind of, to a degree, it felt like out of left field, and it makes me, question his mental state. I think he's
Well,
a rather.
when that happens, when he comes at me in that way, and I've been on that end of the stick too. Um, I almost, if I don't, if I feel like, the verbal punishment doesn't fit whatever crime it is that there is to be had, I always just think of his politics, and it cracks me up.
Well, I I tend to think that I don't know if it's his politics. I just know that uh, he has a toxic streak, and toxicity could be on either political side. I do think it comes more to the left than it does
Oh
to the
yeah, but
right.
so can you. Come on, so can I. I mean, we can go there. We could be annoying. We could be on that plate too. Um, I'm always kind of looking at beyond that, But I think I missed what it is he said. What did he say to you?
I mean, you can see it if you go to my YouTube channel and you just look on. If you go to the
Okay,
bell
I'll take a
icon,
look.
you go to the bell icon, you could see Angry Shillbilly. You see, this guy even has a show. Well, he does have a show. Meeting Stabby for the first time.
Yeah, but he doesn't. He's not very active with it.
No, he's not. And
And
but
yes,
he's
I did talk with the great Johnny Cush from the Marijuana Happy Hour. We all should get together for a
did
show.
you talk to him? Did you talk to him by like Twitter or any other way?
Yeah, through PMs. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, certainly we should. Yeah, that would be pretty good. And yeah, I mean, look, my opinion that Angry Bong is uh, like if you find me that distasteful and that big of a loser, you should just keep moving. Why continue to say anything? What else do you hope to accomplish?
Well, he did tell me the last time I spoke with him that your cheese has slid really far off of your cracker, and I didn't know exactly why he was saying it. Um, so maybe we can get a more distinct reason behind it. But yeah, he did he did say he didn't have nice things to say about you.
He didn't have nice things to say about me. I mean, like, but he's saying the cheese is falling off my cracker, saying that I'm somewhat crazy. It's like,
Yeah,
how do I respond to that? What have I said that makes me sound crazy?
Shillbilly, we need a response from you, Shillbilly, if you're out there.
I mean, if you think I'm crazy and you think I'm a loser, and I mean, he was telling me that I was a loser and not a real man. I mean, God, why would you want to hang out with me? There's plenty of probably men you can hang out with, or women, or whomever you feel are genuine. You don't have to ever be around me. Like, if you see me, just cross the street. You can cross the street out of disgust for me. I would prefer it. I'd probably cross the street away from you. Because you come with no good intention. You're just toxic. What's the point of talking to you? And if other people want to talk to him, hey man, that's fine. If I know that guy's at a party, and if I know that there is a party and this guy's there, I think I'm going to make myself scarce. I'd rather stay at home. And that'd be nicer to me. I don't care whether you like my show or not. Like I said, you don't continue to go to a restaurant if you don't like the food and complain about it. You should do that one time. And after the dishes aren't, I'm not gonna change my cooking. At least I'm not gonna change it overnight. There are things that I've changed over time, and I really don't care. If someone comes in, he's not challenging my ideas, he's just challenging. He's attacking me as a person for giving an opinion. And I thought it was, like I said, I thought it was a low blow. And his words meant to hurt me. And not for good reason. I didn't deserve it. And for that, I don't want you around me. I don't want to talk to that guy. He already insulted me. What's the point? I didn't do anything to him. I gave my opinion. That's it. The man can run along, smoke his bong. Wants to watch baseball and smoke a bong. Have at it. But stay away from me. Anything to add, Joey, before we end this show? Joey?
No, I was just looking for the comment. I was just looking for the comment. I couldn't find it, but
you can just if you hit the bell icon on YouTube and you're on Transparency and Merit, if you hit the bell icon, you can find it. And it's Shillbilly whatever, but it's there. If you're on Transparency and Merit and you hit the bell icon, you can see all the old comments. And I read them in the beginning of the show. So if you listen to the show, you'll be able to hear it. And
I will go back and have a listen.
Yeah, it's just a bunch of, like I said, I think he's a very toxic person. And he comes with a very toxic behavior. And I don't want a person like that around me. He's, I'll have, if I have one less listener, doesn't bring 100 people around with him, and I think he's a toxic person. Maybe he has lots of friends. Maybe he has more friends than me. I'm fine being a solitary man. Anyway, if you like this show, you four listeners.
Wait. So I did find it. I found it here.
All right.
And did you already read it though? Is that what you said?
I read a little bit, but if you want to read it again and give your comment on it,
tell me what you think. Read this here. Transparency and Merit. Your rights are linked to your freedom. The fact.
Wait, Joey. Can you read to his very first comment?
Oh.
His very first comment is, "Why don't you do something about why don't you do a show about a middle-aged man?"
I see. Freedom isn't free. Is it before that one?
It's absolutely before that one. His first comment.
Oh, I see it. Yeah. Do a show about middle-aged male citizens of the United States of America that never served in the military. First of all, I'd like to know if Shillbilly knows what a citizen truly is, what it means to be a citizen, and where the word derives from. Why don't you think about that? And I don't know what.
I don't even want to talk to the guy, to be honest with you. I mean, you want to have. I mean, like
I don't know why. I don't know why serving in the military should have anything to do with being able to comment on anything to do with the military. So forget it. I mean, that's that right there.
Okay.
Yeah. I think he was also kind of perturbed about the South Africa commentary.
Why?
Well,
What is
I think he thinks that, that, I I mean, I don't think anybody cares here. I'm not saying that that has anything to do with what you're saying. I think it's good to raise awareness. If there's a wrong, then awareness should be made. So I think that's what you're about. Like when you bring that up, I think you're just more about bringing up, you're bringing awareness to a situation that not a lot of people, it's out of sight, out of mind, maybe, but it just isn't in the it's so out
what,
of the mainstream narrative
what's he
that,
said, what's he said about it? What's his opinion on my? I mean, like, I'm just curious. Why does he care?
yeah, I mean, I don't know the reasoning behind it. I think he brought it up, and I don't exactly know what it is about that, but I thought it was a little bit, um, you know, he's being, what did they call that? Like a backseat quarterback, maybe. So maybe, I personally, I want people to comment whether it's in, support of what you're saying, but if he's gonna put you down and that sort of thing, then I think he should be able to defend himself in a better way. Maybe he's feeling like he's just not. Maybe he thinks you're more crude um, or less savvy than you are on the matter. I'm not sure, but it sounds like he's kind of part taking the piss out of you, but also partly, he does have kind of an acerbic uh, way of expressing himself at times. So I don't know if that's just him being him, but I wouldn't take that personal. I mean, that's pretty much how he treats everyone around him. That he doesn't have a crush on that day. So
But it's it's kind of I don't know. To me, like I said, what's the point? I mean, like if you think I'm a loser and you don't like my opinions, then why continue? I mean, you say your piece and then that's it. You say, I only have 3 to 4 listeners, and I mean, if you read the whole thing, it's really attacking me. And why don't like you've never done anything like that to me? You've never behaved that way to me.
no, I've disagreed with you plenty, but I don't get pleasure out of, like, there's times. I mean, I've been I've done stupid things, and I put myself in positions at time to to um to get be ridiculed and whatnot. And even the Jewish producer moniker, like, itself brings in some hatred of its own, very special kind of hatred. Um, but no, I don't get any pleasure of attacking you in that way. That doesn't make me laugh, even. Like, um, there's a time and a place for certain kind of humor, and yeah, I don't really don't get any joy out of that, and not when it comes to when you're trying to truly express what it is you're saying. I think in order to get a clear understanding of what you're saying, it does require a certain level of listening, and that's why we do shows, so piece by piece you can get what you're saying out, and I'm trying to do the same thing. um, I'm trying to express myself piece by piece, and hopefully over time I can put all of it together, and I think formulate what will be, just something worthwhile to discuss. I don't know why he's doing that now, but part of me thinks that, and from what I know of Showbilly, like, he does comedy. He enjoys comedy. So I have to take some of what he says with a pinch.
He was definitely punching down. I mean, his words were meant to punch down.
He has
Never.
a tendency to do that, though. That's what I'm saying. Like he definitely, that's the Canadian Dennis in him, I think.
Dennis never punch. I mean, you know what? I never knew. I mean, Dennis over talked, and he could be obnoxious, but he never punched down quite in the same way
True
that
that. True that.
Shillbilly. This was exceptional cruelty that came really out of nowhere. And again, I haven't talked to the guy in a long time, and we haven't had a cross word. And I would have spent a lot shorter time on this topic because until you got there. But I feel that the guy's really just I don't know what his deal is with the manner in which he chose to address me. But it was like I said, it was definitely a hostile take and unnecessary. I'm just expressing an opinion. And if you don't agree with it, you could, he didn't attack the opinion, he attacked me. And a person like that doesn't want to have a debate without an attack. And I've learned from anger management that you stay away from people like that because this can go nowhere good. He's a person that brings out hostile action, and he showed himself to be a toxic person. And with that, I'm going to end it unless you have something else to add, Joey.
No, I think that's okay for tonight, but I do hope that you're open to at least talking with him here on the show sometime. I will do what I can to make sure he does come on. But if he doesn't want to, maybe that's a possibility. I wanted to thank everybody that's here. We got a nice little mini crowd. What's up?
Well,
If you want to more
we
shows,
only got high registrate states, but the minute his behavior got toxic, I would just
I'm seeing 7 people here, dude.
yeah. The minute Joey, the minute the man's behavior became toxic, I would just throw him off. I don't, like I said, he wants to.
I don't think that's him though entirely. I think that's maybe him trying to get your attention, but I don't. I've heard him argue before, and I think he can do it more diplomatically than that. I think. Now I've heard him. To be fair, I have heard him, in conversations with more liberal minded people. So maybe not. Maybe he has such a disdain for what you have to say that he wants to be that guy. But I don't think that would be the bottom line on him.
Well, then you need to keep moving. If you have disdain for what I have to say, unless you want to get rid of me on YouTube or in all the rest of the channels, you keep moving.
Certainly, if that's the case, if he doesn't like it, but I think the fact of the matter is that we've known him now for um, Shillbilly. That is, I've known him for 8 something like
Yeah.
that. I don't see. I don't. So and there's been times when I've unfriended him and stayed away from him because he does get. Well, he gets that way, dude. He gets. He can get toxic, dude.
Have,
And
have,
I've
you,
heard him.
have you or
I've
I
heard him.
have you or I ever gotten that way with each other, Joey?
Not everybody does, but no. But I'm saying what I'm saying is that's what happened with you and him has happened with me and him as well. And I didn't like it. I stayed away from him for a while because it was really it did he did get kind of toxic for the level of debate we were having. Why are you shaking your head?
I'm shaking my head because I'm saying, yeah. I mean, what if I have to like unfriend somebody or block them? It's like
Yeah, no, I know, not a good.
to me, Joey. It's kind of like Crazy Doug. They're fun. They're people that have fun, and they have funness. But at the end of the day, I mean, I have crazy relatives that are fun, but I don't want their behavior because they're going to hurt you. Sooner or later, they're going to come into a situation where they're going to hurt you. And I'm starting to believe that, like, people that are, and I don't know, and I'm not making a diagnosis of angry Bong, but I'm saying this about people with personality disorders or people with even bipolar. And it's not possible to do this, but like every now and then you turn into a werewolf, and at least like with a werewolf, you know that the moon's going to turn and then you're going to show that face. Well, with people that are bipolar and have personality disorders, there's no bright moon that says I'm going to be a werewolf all of a sudden. But that werewolf, that monster that will attack you is there. And to me, when they get these feelings, they need to lock themselves away, sequester themselves away from people, because you obviously don't know how to behave in a constructive manner. And you're just toxic. And the best thing to do, like, because if he started with his toxic behavior, I'll end the show. I mean, I'll kick him off my show. And I used to not do that. Like when I had my Blog Talk Radio, I'd let Mr. Solution drone on and on. Why would I allow that?
Agree. And, you don't need to. You don't need to. And you most likely are correct. And I didn't want to go there, but I can't believe you brought up Crazy Doug. A, because you're sort of right. I do see a little something there. But B, I don't like putting the name Crazy Doug out into out there, because he catches these waves and he'll start calling me.
Oh my heaven. And you don't even want him to, because he might be entertaining for the show, but yeah, but then it's not worth it, Now, High Ridge Estates said, stop dehumanizing the mentally ill, please. Well, I won't. I'm sorry, High Ridge. I won't dehumanize you anymore. Is Scotty Poo? Is he a little bit on the mentally ill side?
I don't know.
Yeah, you can't diagnose, but
what's funny is that I do have a background in psychotherapy as a psychotherapist, and I do not like the idea of throwing diagnoses at people that I only know through the internet, and even if I know them well through the internet, I still don't like the idea of throwing around diagnoses. I don't see it, and the only thing I'd say about High Ridge Estates is maybe a touch of the autism. That's about it.
Well, I will say this: High Ridge Estates and I got into an argument one time. It was over the same issue, but we've gotten better. And he didn't, like I said, I haven't talked to this guy in a long time, and he kind of chose to attack me. And like I said, I didn't feel this was really a good reason to do me harm. I mean, Shillbilly, aka One Angry Bong. I don't think it was, He says he's always loved me. And there was, like I said, there was a time I was kind of angry at High Ridge, and I still think he's got a little bit of the woke mind virus in him, and I don't care about that. For the most part, I just give my opinions, and then I keep it moving. And if you don't like what I say, hey man, it's just an opinion. Keep it moving. Obviously, you don't think I'm dangerous because only 3 to 4 people listen. Yeah, what if 15 people listen? Would that make it dangerous? Maybe 100 people will listen, or 1,000 people. Give me a break. So stupid.
It's silly. It is.
I mean, again, man, it's unnecessary, and it's sanctimonious, and it seems like it was really egocentric, close to, like really cluster B behavior. Unbelievable. Just keep moving, Angry. You don't like it? Do your own. You could have even done a response show, because the written word could be very problematic. You should do a response show. Go on your thing and click on it, and I'll listen to it. But for the most part, you should be sorry for what you said, to come at me in the manner that you did. Not because it bothered me. It's because it was unnecessary, and it was meant to hurt. And when you do things that are meant to hurt, you're gonna sooner or later, I don't want you to succeed in your words hurting me, because some words might hurt me, and you're looking to hurt somebody, and when you're looking to hurt somebody, you're looking to do other things, physical, financial, mental, all that stuff. What do I need that for? Anyway, Joey, let's call this show, because I've done enough talking. Let's
and you had to invite Showbilly, so if you want a response, go ahead and give it. All right, thanks again. Thank you everyone who's listened tonight. I applaud you, and tell a friend, and make sure you like and subscribe, please.
And I want to give a big shout out to Marijuana Happy Hour. He has basically said these are my 2 favorite podcasters. Check these guys out right live. Hey, thank you, man. And like I said, Marijuana Happy Hour has never been upset with anything that I did. So why should anyway? Anyway, like, subscribe, leave a comment down below. I have 3 Twitters. Transparency and Merit's one of my Twitters. Walk Against the Woke and Mr. Midnight Movie. And also, I have Transparency and Merit on YouTube. Thank you for listening.